So guys, Mr. P So guys, Mr. Peter Obi has finally reacted to Tinubu's certificate saga. You know all this while he has been silent, but he used this opportunity while delivering a speech at UNN Nsukka to say something very interesting about Tinubu. Just listen to what Mr. Peter Obi got to say.
So if you ask now, Peter Obi, where did you go to school? He says, oh, he was in Nsukka. Where is your result? Which department? He doesn't know. And then university says, and people say, university should release it. Then Peter Obi will sue and say, don't release it. Hey, wait a minute. You was one who said you went to this university. I was in Nsukka. I'm a student in Nsukka. It doesn't necessarily, you don't necessarily need to say you went to school. You might not be somebody who went to school. There's so many great people in the world who didn't go to school.
Yes, remember Tinubu did not just tell us that he graduated from the Chicago State University. He told us he made a first class, and now people are asking for his record. He's saying, don't release my record. Honestly, Mr. Peter Obi said other things about this current government. He even said Nigeria is already a failed state. Not just a failing state, but Nigeria has failed. Peter Obi went on to say so many things, you know, as regards to the way that this government is handling issues in Nigeria. My people, you need to watch this video from beginning to end. Just listen to Peter Obi speak. You know he always speaks wisdom. Just take a look at this.
Then I thank you. You will know what you've done to people like me today. You know what I did when you were lecturing? I asked them to find me 3 of the books, because it's in your book. I said, find 3. Because I usually travel with 1, keep 2 in different places, so I can be referring to them. Ben was able to educate us on ethical leadership and failure. And while the country is still failing, he was able to show it clearly. The only thing where I disagree a bit with him is that it is a failing state, if I listen to you very well. Nigeria is a failed state. What qualifies you for a failed state, number 1, is when you're no longer in control of your territory. Nigeria is no longer in control of its territory. I was to leave Enugu 6 a.m. this morning. I was told that I have to wait till 7:30 to drive to Nsukka because the road is somehow by the security agencies. I schooled here, and I was telling them a story that I used to go from here to Enugu in the night to a party and come back by 3 a.m. So now I'm being told to wait till 7:30. And that is the situation. I left Yanegua yesterday coming to Enugu. I was told, no, you can't drive that far. Peter, fly to Lagos and fly to Enugu. And I said, in this territory, they told me there were few people in Mbano. I said, please be going. Whatever we'll get, we'll see. It's all part of our country. That is a failed state. The second thing is when you're no longer in control of your economy. We're no longer in control of this economy. I was telling somebody yesterday who told me about inflation. And I said Nigeria is not calculating the inflation very well. And I don't want to join issues with them. That I read inflation statistics, and it showed that transport over the past 1 year increased by about 3%. And I said, you see how we have become liars in this country. From Onitsha to Lagos on a bus used to be 9,000. Now it's 19,000 something. How can it be 3%? I said, that is nonsense. We have an inflation that is over 50%. Same thing goes, nobody knows the rate of exchange today. You wake up in the morning, what you get, and everything, and you ask that question. And that is what is happening here. We have an unemployment that nobody can imagine the level of unemployment in Nigeria. Nobody can measure it today, except that we are just max producing poverty. That's all we are doing. We're not faking where I was coming from. I told Bishop this, I said, Bishop, let nobody tell you there's oil still, people are stealing our oil, or there's illegal mining. The only people who are stealing oil are people in government. Nobody here can steal oil. Nobody here. To steal oil, you need a ship. For a ship to come into our territory, Navy must approve it. It must have the necessary approval. And the ship is not tiny. It's not the canoe. It's not so small boat. It is a ship that carries sailors. So it is people in government that are stealing it. For anybody to tell you it's illegal mining, I say it's not illegal. I told people today, I told Bishop, I said, can I come to Nsukka here? In any community in Nsukka to mine anything illegally without the citizens approving it, they will kill me immediately. So if anybody is doing mining here, it's by approval of Nigerians. Nigeria has turned into a criminalized society, where those who are supposed to be leading it have turned into that's why we don't care about anything. So if you ask now, Peter, where did you go to school? He says, oh, he was in Nsukka. Where is your result? Which department? He doesn't know. And then university says, and people say, university should release it. Then Peter will sue and say, don't release it. Hey, what a minute. You was one who said you went to this university. I was in Nsukka. I'm a student in Nsukka. It doesn't necessarily, you don't necessarily need to say you went to school. You might not be somebody who went to school. There's so many great people in the world who didn't go to school. The biggest company in the world today is Apple. Apple today, with a market valuation of over 3 billion, is more than the GDP of the whole of Africa. But the founder was an abandoned child who was picked from a foster home. He didn't have to say, my mother is a great man or my father. He was even a school dropout. It's written there. If you go there and Google it, they say dropout from secondary school. Not even, he didn't have to claim the school he didn't go to. And when he asks, then it becomes problem. He didn't go to any school. You can say that he didn't go to school. But the ethics begins by telling us, I am Peter Obi. I went to this school. I went to this place. I went to this place. And it's verifiable. People can go and do what? Verify. As you know, I always say to people that the university now belongs to us. Because the VC and the DVC were all my mates here. So when I go to people, they said, I said, don't ask me about my degree. Let me tell you those I was in university with. That anybody, yes, that verify that. I said, anybody who comes to University of Nigeria, Nsukka, while I was there for 4 years and say he didn't notice me, maybe he wasn't in this university.
So guys, Peter Obi is trying to say that it was not even compulsory for Tinubu to have submitted university school certificates. You know, it wasn't compulsory that you must be a graduate of a particular university for you to vie for this position of the president of Nigeria. You can just say you sat for WAEC. You can just say one thing or the other. Even your wealth of experiences, you know, can easily qualify you, you know, to run for this position. But when you told Nigerians that you graduated from this university, and we ended up seeing two different certificates, you know, on the social media with different signatures and different fonts with different logos and all that, that brings to question what kind of certificate did Tinubu submit to INEC? Did he lie under oath? That alone is another thing that is going to disqualify Tinubu. He has called Nigeria a failed state. So guys, Mr. Peter Obi has blasted Tinubu. He has called Nigeria a failed state And he has condemned the president's movement around the world in the name of looking for investors without addressing internal problems that Nigeria as a country is facing. Peter Obi has called that a waste of time. That if Nigeria should be fixed, you don't need to bother yourself about going to look for investors. Investors will naturally be attracted. You need to listen to this Peter Obi speech. He went ahead to slam INEC on how they wasted the Nigerian people's money in conducting elections that ended up to be a waste. You need to listen to Mr. Peter Obi speak. Let me allow you at this moment.
In 2009, their unemployment were over 10%. Was there by June or July 2009. Today, they are under 5%. And you could see it. You could feel it. This place is just collapsing by the day. And all people there is to tell us lie. I came back there and told somebody, you don't go to look for foreign investor. Anybody who tells you is going around the world to look for foreign investor is wasting everybody's time. Foreign investor is like bee and honey. If you put honey here, how the bee will come in, nobody will tell you. I told you Macron finished G20 meeting, flew to Bangladesh, because Bangladesh has just ordered 10 Airbus 350. So you have to go and see them. Because they're coming. If you look at all the economic analysis, go and Google where Bangladesh will be in 2030, where they will be in 2050. Nobody knows where we're going to be. With all this lying joke and everything, and people think it's about A or B or C. No. A deputy governor was just asked, you didn't go to school. He said, it doesn't matter. But you feel it. You were the one who said, I went to this school. Nobody forced you. If you know it doesn't matter, you would have said, I didn't go to school. So we imagine your ingenuity as somebody who didn't go to school and was able to come up to this. But don't say things. We have now reached a country where, like Ben said, where people say something and do something else. I asked a woman to queue. He told me, whenever I queue, I don't get anything. This happened to me last year. So whenever I queue, I don't get anything. And after the tribunal decided our case, I called the woman and said, I'm sorry. Whenever I queue, I don't get anything. Because we had somebody going around the world saying this is how he's going to conduct the election. Everywhere he goes, he said, it was the night that I heard what was called real time. Suddenly, he said, no, he can do it anyhow. Why didn't you tell us it's anyhow? So that we can behave anyhow when we are voting as well. That is your country. That is what Ben is preaching today. And unless we do that, it will not work. Unless we do that, it will not work. We all pass through here. This university, look at what we're teaching people. Whenever I come into this hall, I feel a pain of loss. And I'm sure VC will be feeling it. This is our refectory. I protested in this refectory when they reduced our meat from 3 to 2. Meat. Today, if you see food, then you won lottery. Meat, they reduce meat, not food, in this refectory. Because all I need to do is to come back to university, go and buy my meal coupon and keep it, and I'm sure every time I come here, I eat what I want. Everybody's happy. The same school today have completely collapsed. The children don't know what is happening. They don't know anything about school. Nobody cares. VC, thank you for what your team are doing. At least they still something anybody can look at here. I've been to other universities and I can tell you it's a total mess. The money we gave INEC to tell us that they can do whatever they like, if we gave it to Nigerian universities, they would have done what we wanted them to do. They wouldn't do whatever they like without the money. But we gave them 400-something billion naira to do whatever they like, only in Nigeria. You give money, people, that amount of money, as at that time, $1 billion to do whatever they like. And that is your country. If $1 billion were given to Nigerian universities, imagine if they have given Vice Chancellor Igwe 50 billion naira. Imagine what the university would have been. They didn't give me anything, but they gave it to another professor to do whatever he likes. It's unfortunate. I only ask for prayers for Nigeria. It's a collapsed country. It's a failed state. All we need to do is collectively say no to that. People think it's about P2B. It's not about P2B being president of Nigeria. I want Nigeria to work for everybody. It is not about tribe. It's not about tribe. It's not about religion. It's not about tribe. It's not about religion. No religion buys bread cheaper. No religion or ethnic group buys bread cheaper. We are the ones fixing this thing. Thank you, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, because with support of the Governor of Enugu State, I must say with their support, him and his deputy, I was able to do even what I'm doing today in Bishop Shanahan. So, like I told the bishop, you know, I was shocked today, but people who went with me there will be equally experienced that. I'm doing a project there for the School of Medical Sciences. It's costing them about 150 million naira. And I said, I'm going to pay every kobo of this. But I'm doing it. I'm doing it because they authorize it. But it will shock you what happened to me today. When I went to see the Bishop of Nsukka, he told me an interesting thing today. He said to me, Peter, you've done a lot for us. The Anglican bishop, he said, I told him, I said, I met the Anglican bishop of Nsukka, and he said to me that he also has a health center. And I told him I'm going to help. I'm going to do a lot for him. The bishop said, please, we are brothers. Do it. When people go to hospital, they don't ask them their religion. They treat them. So sooner I told him, I said 20th, today is 20th, that 20th of next month, I'm going to come in to start facing the hospital that belongs to the Anglican Bishop of Nsukka. These are things, with the help of the governor of Enugu State, I must tell you, I attract the money, they support it. Attract the money, they support it. These are what governance should be. And this is what we should do. Not to go and be doing other things wrong. So Ben, I thank you for bringing us together for this wonderful lecture. When I start quoting you, I hope you will not say, hey, this man, because I'm going to be quoting every chapter of that and everything, you know, on what you said today. It is, for me, it's been a very pleasant, good day. I'm not going to, for me, I'm going to go out here today a fulfilled learner. Because I said leadership is about listening and learning. I listened and I learned a lot. And you're going to be seeing it when I do this thing for the students. It is about your future. Everything we are doing is about your future. Do not allow us to ruin your future. Do not allow us to ruin your future. You cannot be. Changes in every society came from people of your age and people of your time. You can no longer be running away from your country. Some of you dying in ships and in seas. We protested for slave trade. Now Nigerians are selling themselves Please buy me to Canada, buy me to Japan, buy me. When our parents resisted to be sold, they were in chains to be sold. Today, I'm sure if anybody bring chain and say he wants to change people to Canada, people will queue up and take the chain and follow the person to Canada. That cannot happen again. We must stop it. It is about your society. Help them to stop the abuse. The lecture of Benedict Tiaba today is something I want you to take home, listen to it over and over again. It's about you. It's about you. Don't allow us to ruin your future, because the society we are abusing will only take its revenge on you. God bless all of you.
So guys, you have heard it for yourself. The English people say a word is enough for the wise. You can see that Mr. Peter Obi is not mixing words at this time. He is saying it the way it is. Look at what is happening in Nigeria. They keep giving us wrong figures as regards to unemployment. They came out the other day to give us false figures. And people were like lamenting upon the rise in unemployment in Nigeria. This figure was saying that unemployment has reduced, I mean drastically reduced, and still Nigerians are hungry. They can't even find job, not to talk of finding a well-paid job. Honestly, this government is out for something else. Anyway, the APC is always known for lying. They are never transparent. May God really forgive those that ever voted for APC during the 2023 presidential election. We know they didn't win the election. INEC gave them the mandate, and that is why we keep demanding that this mandate be returned. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell. Thank you.